Knipe Land Company, premier ranches, farms, and real estate. The Northwest Real Estate Market by John Knipe, President, Knipe Land Company, accredited land consultant, certified land broker, designated principal, managing real estate, ranch, and farm broker in Idaho, Oregon, Washington, Wyoming, Utah, and Montana. The Northwest trends seen by Knipe Land Company are that values are stable to increasing. There's a strong to consistent demand for quality properties, and supply is high. We're seeing many tenant-landlord sales, and prices often fall below fair market value. We're also seeing more investors, 1031 buyers, and institutional buyers that are making a presence in the market. While demand is held steady, the increase in supply may affect future prices. In Idaho, we're seeing a strong demand for market-priced properties. Values are moderately increasing, and existing landowners are expanding their holdings. Recreational buyers are competing for hunting, fishing, and recreation properties. There's significant development pressure, which is pushing up prices in higher population areas. Some institutional buyers are present in the marketplace. Oregon is seeing a tight market and a strong demand for irrigated land. Many current operators are expanding, but there's pressure from hemp, orchards, hazelnuts, vineyards, and development. There's additional pressure as out-of-state operators move into Oregon, and we're seeing many sales between landowners and tenants. In Washington, about half the buyers are investors, while others are current operators expanding or buying agricultural land for other purposes. Smaller acreages, such as 20 to 40 acre parcels with irrigation, are hard to find. Demand is strong for good operations and irrigated land, and neighbors are often buying if it complements their operation. In Montana, limited properties are available, slowing number of sales and a limited number of sellers wanting to sell for reasonable prices. Reasonably priced farms and ranches are selling, although those priced too high generate little activity. Recreational, hunting, and fishing properties are attracting out-of-state buyers, while more ag-related properties are attracting local buyers. Southwestern Montana is seeing a heavy influence from recreation and lifestyle buyers, which is increasing prices and demand the most in this part of the state. 2020 land value highlights. USDA research has shown that overall, USA farm values are continuing a gradual trend upward. Cropland values are remaining fairly steady. Meanwhile, we're seeing more growth in pasture land values. In the West, for all farmland, California is seeing the highest farmland values, followed by Idaho, then Washington, Oregon, and Montana. This graph compares current cropland values across the western states, and you'll see that once again, California has the highest cropland value, followed by Idaho. In California and Idaho, we're seeing a much higher value for cropland than other types of farmland, whereas in Oregon, we're only seeing a small change between the value of different types of farmland. And in Washington and Montana, we are seeing very little change in different kinds of farmland. The next graph compares irrigated versus dry land values, and as you would expect, irrigated land values are higher across the western states than dry land values. Our next segment is based on Knipe Land Company's sales research. This is our proprietary research based on ranch and farm sales. Idaho farm and ranch land activity from 2018 to 2019 showed a 13% increase in available properties and a 4% increase in sold properties. In spite of an increase in both availables and solds, there was a slight decrease in the percentage of properties on the market which sold. The Oregon farm and ranch land market saw a 40% increase in available properties in 2019, with an 8% decrease in the number of properties that sold. In 2018, 89% of the available properties on the market sold, while in 2019, only 52% of the available properties sold. The Washington farm and ranch market saw a 117% increase in available properties in 2019 and a 48% increase in solds. While both those numbers were up dramatically, only 48% of the properties on the market sold in 2019. Across the Northwest, we've seen an average increase of 50% in inventory levels from 2018 to 2019, and varying demand across the region. Overall, supply is increasing, demand for Northwest farmland is steady, and prices in the Northwest are high. The average age of farmers and ranchers has risen 25% in the last 30 years. Our Northwest predictions include an increase in owners looking to sell due to age and inability to continue running their operations. Oregon State University reports 7 in 10 farms and ranches will sell or trade in the next 8 years. The University of Idaho reports 3 in 5 family-owned timbered ranches in Idaho will sell or trade in the next 4 years. Mary Swander, author of Map of My Kingdom, predicts that 1 out of 2 farms and ranches in America will sell or trade hands in the next 3 to 5 years. Estate planning becomes an important aspect when selling. Over the last 30 years, 90% of Knipe Land Company farm and ranch sales have involved a 1031 tax-deferred exchange. There are many benefits to a 1031 tax-deferred exchange. It can help defer taxes and increase basis. Exchanging a farm or a ranch property can help you move to passive income-producing assets, such as apartments, commercial, or residential real estate. It could also help fund your retirement and reduce family disagreements by helping you separate your assets. 10 years ago, Knipe Land Company sold a $10 million ranch. The seller had 3 kids, and only one wanted to continue the operation. The seller wanted to retire and to be fair to his children. He sold the operation and exchanged it for 3 separate assets with a 10% cap rate. Combined, these assets have produced $1 million in passive income per year, and in the last 10 years, the seller has made $10 million to fund his retirement. When he passes, he will leave the assets to his 3 children to do as they choose. The 2020 vision. What does the future look like? So what does the future look like? We're going to see a lot of advances in technology. Digital intelligence allows you to automate your operations, saving time and labor costs. This technology is already here and being applied across most industries. The future of technology in your operation includes cloud-based technologies and technology based on the edge. What is the edge? Long ago, when you heard the edge around a farm or a ranch, someone was probably talking about the weedy area on the side of one of the fields, a fenced line out yonder, or maybe the edge of town. In recent years, the edge was likely the annoying place you were in when you needed your cell phone to work. For many years, farmers and ranchers have been stuck on an awkward edge. Some kinds of technology have grown, well, like the weeds along the edge. Meanwhile, many of these services haven't even been available to people in rural areas without paying excessively high prices for slow and limited bandwidth. Today, the edge could still mean that strip out there that isn't really worth using. It could also be a new wireless technology that's helping bring better service to your area, or edge servers that are speeding up connections to the rest of the world. Words like blockchain and drones used to be buzzwords from other industries. Today, they have already made their way into agriculture and may have a strong impact on the way farmers and ranchers do business in the coming years. While there's no way to know what exactly the future will bring, one thing's for certain. That's that farmers and ranchers will need to keep up on all of these things to stay competitive. The future of agriculture is full of twists and turns, so y'all better hold on to your hats. Could be a wild ride. In conclusion, demand figures are remaining consistent, inventory is growing, and there are more owners at this time wanting to sell than buyers who are wanting to buy. This trend is expected to increase, raising concerns of what it will do to prices in the coming months and years. But in the end, land markets in the Northwest are strong. Idaho's agricultural industry is flourishing. In fact, agribusiness is the single largest contributor to Idaho's economy, accounting for 20% of Idaho's gross state product each year. Our production regularly sets and breaks records for cash receipts, and food and beverage processing is the state's largest manufacturing sector. Idaho's 25,000 farms and ranches produce more than 185 different commodities, and we're ranked in the top 10 in the U.S. for production of more than 25 crops and livestock. How do we do it? Idaho's perfect climate, cutting-edge technology, extensive irrigation systems, transportation networks, and most important, skilled and hardworking people. That's the bounty of Idaho. The temperature difference between our warm days and cool nights of Idaho's growing season produces sweeter fruit and higher solids in Idaho's famous potatoes. An arid climate and cold winters provide an ideal growing environment with fewer destructive pests and diseases than you'll find in many other parts of the United States. Northern Idaho typically receives about 25 inches of rain per year, making dryland farming practices viable in this region. Some higher elevations in the southeast also support dryland farming. Southern Idaho gets approximately 12 inches of rain per year. An extensive system of dams, reservoirs, and canals provide irrigation to 3.2 million acres, or 74% of our harvested cropland. The Snake River Plain sits above a vast aquifer containing 200 million acre-feet of water, one of the largest freshwater aquifers in the world. Irrigation water combined with the rich volcanic soil creates a fertile environment responsible for most of Idaho's agricultural production. Idaho's comprehensive transportation system moves our agricultural commodities and processed goods across the nation and around the world. Located in the Pacific Northwest, Idaho's proximity to the coast provides easy access to global markets. The majority of Idaho's agricultural commodities are shipped by road, rail, or river. 5 interstates, 20 U.S. highways, and 30 state highways traverse Idaho. In addition to roadways, there are 1,500 miles of rail moving 100 million metric tons of freight per year. 465 miles inland, the Port of Lewiston's cranes, warehouses, and grain storage facilities also provide access to river barge transportation, one of the most cost-effective distribution channels to the West Coast. Food processing is Idaho's second largest manufacturing sector. From fries to cheese to wine, we're making it taste good. Combine the highest quality raw ingredients, affordable energy and labor, and an abundance of natural resources, and you get an ideal location for value-added processing. Idaho is home to big-name manufacturers and established brands as well as niche suppliers of specialty foods and beverages. Dairy, grains, fish, livestock, onions, potatoes, and sweet corn are all being processed by well-known brands such as Anheuser-Busch, Chobani, Conagra Foods, Lamb Weston, Idahoan Foods, J.R. Simplot, and over 200 more companies throughout Idaho. Idaho's dairy industry ranks in the top 4 in the nation for milk production, due in large part to land availability, locally grown feed supplies, and efficient transportation systems. Idaho's annual milk yield, more than 13 billion pounds, is valued at over $2 billion, making dairy Idaho's top agriculture industry. Idaho is the nation's third largest cheese producer, meeting demands for cheddar, Colby Jack, mozzarella, and Italian-style cheeses, as well as cream cheese, cottage cheese, and pasteurized processed cheese. Over 800 million pounds of cheese is produced in Idaho each year. Other products produced by Idaho's dairy industry include butter, sour cream, ice cream, whey and whey protein powder, dry milk products, cheese powders, and more. Idaho ranks 13th in the U.S. for cattle and calves inventory, with more than 2.1 million head raised by over 7,500 different operations, most of which are family-owned. Idaho ranchers produce many types of beef, including grain-fed, grass-finished, organic, and natural. We're home to one of the nation's largest producers of American-style Kobe beef, which is distributed to high-end restaurants, hotels, and retail chains around the world. Idaho is home to 3 of the top 15 seed stock operations in the U.S. The second largest cow-calf operation in the country is also based in Idaho, with more than 30,000 mother cows. Idaho has 2 of the top 10 feeding operations, with combined capacity of more than 180,000 head. The 10th largest beef processing operation in the U.S. is also headquartered in Boise, Idaho. Raising sheep is one of Idaho's oldest agricultural traditions. Our inventory at 210,000 head puts Idaho among the top 10 states for sheep and lambs, and our annual wool production totals 5 million pounds. The University of Idaho, in partnership with Washington State University, funds a sheep research and testing center in Dubois, Idaho.
The center focuses on grazing ecology and sheep management systems that benefit both the sheep industry and the environment. Idaho's pork processing history dates back to 1904. Our producers primarily focus on specialty items like cured meats, fresh sausage, natural pork, and cured Buddha pork, which is celebrated across the globe for its marbling and rich flavor. Idaho is renowned for its idyllic fly-fishing rivers, but we're also a leader in commercial aquaculture. We supply 70% of commercial trout production in the U.S., and we're also producers of sturgeon meat, caviar, tilapia, catfish, and ornamental fish. Idaho's aquaculture industry is helping to meet the demand for trout among U.S. consumers. It's no secret that Idaho is the nation's foremost potato-producing state. We grow 30% of all U.S. potatoes. Our famous potato brand is recognized across the U.S. and the world. Our growers produce more than 13 billion pounds of potatoes annually on more than 300,000 acres. Warm days, cool evenings, and fertile volcanic soils are ideal for tuber sets, producing a potato with high solid county, the secret behind fluffy bakers and firm French fries. More than 50% of Idaho's potato crop is processed into potato flakes, hash browns, French fries, and specialty items. Access to quality raw products has led the world's top processed potato manufacturers to locate in the state. In fact, the commercial frozen French fry was developed in Idaho by the J.R. Simplot Company in the 1940s. Wheat is another of Idaho's signature crops. Approximately 50% of Idaho wheat is sold to foreign markets, making it one of our top export products. Idaho is one of the few places in the world that successfully produces all 5 classes of wheat. While over half of the total wheat crop in Idaho is soft white wheat, Idaho is the largest grower of hard white wheat in the U.S., and Idaho wheat farmers have some of the highest yields per acre. In terms of revenue generated, wheat is consistently ranked as Idaho's second largest crop behind potatoes, and is grown in 42 of Idaho's 44 counties. Idaho is a top barley-producing state, growing both malting and feed varieties. More than 75% of total barley production is malt, with the vast majority being two-row for superior malting and brewing. Idaho's pearl barley is becoming popular as a value-added food. A consistent supply of top-quality malting barley has attracted companies such as Anheuser-Busch, Integro Malt, and Great Western Malting to locate in Idaho. Idaho hay is known for its high protein content and is marketable for dairy and horse operations around the world. Idaho ranks first in the U.S. for production of certified organic hay and is the second largest U.S. producer of alfalfa. Alfalfa constitutes more than 80% of Idaho's total hay production, with over 4 million tons harvested annually. Major alfalfa seed companies have facilities in Idaho and develop superior genetics tailored to the climate. Idaho ranks second nationally in the production of sugar beets, providing 20% of total U.S. yields. Sugar beets are traditionally Idaho's 4th most valuable crop. Our 850-plus sugar beet farmers plant about 175,000 acres and harvest more than 6 million tons each year. Sugar beets are grown primarily in irrigated areas of the Snake River Valley in southern Idaho and refined in plants at Paul, Twin Falls, and Nampa. Idaho seeds are ranked the best in the world and are shipped to more than 120 countries and every continent except Antarctica. Idaho grows 70% of the hybrid temperate sweet corn seed produced in the world. We're a leading supplier of seeds for vegetables such as carrots, onions, turnips, and lettuce, as well as alfalfa and Kentucky bluegrass. Disease and insects are minimal here due to our high desert plains, cold winter temperatures, and stringent regulations. World-class seed companies operate in the Treasure Valley. Oilseeds are one of Idaho's fastest-growing crops, including canola, safflower, mustard, rapeseed, sunflower, and flax. Idaho ranks 4th in the nation for canola production. Flaxseed and mustard seed are seeing explosive growth in the health food sectors for their potential anti-carcinogenic properties and omega-3 essential fatty acids. Northern Idaho is the center of the nation's dry pea and lentil harvest. The area's innovative farming and quality control methods contribute to these legumes' consistent size and color, making them popular overseas for canning and packaging. Demand is on the rise for Idaho's pea flours and starches for use in food processing because of their functional and nutritional benefits. Idaho's 40,000 acres in chickpea production make it one of the nation's top producing states, helping to meet the demands of manufacturers of hummus and other snack foods. Idaho's Treasure Valley and Malheur County in Oregon together produce more than 25% of the nation's yellow onions. Specifically, our farmers grow the Spanish sweet variety. This variety's mild flavor makes them a desirable ingredient for home cooks, food service, and manufacturers alike. The Idaho Eastern Oregon production area is the only onion storage region in the U.S. governed by Federal Marketing Order No. 958. The Federal Inspection Service conducts daily inspections to certify that onions meet grade, size, pack, and maturity requirements, ensuring superior quality. More than 30 packing sheds in the area store, pack, and market the onions. Idaho's seeds for dry edible beans and garden beans are considered the world's best and most disease-free. Our success lies largely in our unique climate, as well as our strict quality control measures. The apple is Idaho's leading fruit crop, topping 60 million pounds a year. We grow commercial varieties like Red and Golden Delicious, Granny Smith, Gala, and Fuji. Production of new varieties such as Pink Lady and Honeycrisp have seen tremendous gains as the market expands. Idaho fruit is primarily grown in our version of the Banana Belt, a cross-section of southern Idaho that experiences an extended growing season. Cherries, apples, peaches, apricots, plums, fluids, and table grapes thrive here, where warm days and cool nights contribute to high sugar content. Idaho fruits are prized for their superior color and flavor. Idaho is the nation's third largest producer of mint. Idaho farmers have grown it commercially since the 1960s. The majority of acres planted are peppermint, although spearmint grows equally well in Idaho's arid climate and rich soils. Nursery and greenhouse production is the top 10 crop sector in Idaho, with commodities ranging from sod and bedding plants to shrubs and trees. Field-grown nursery products account for about 75% of nursery sales, with greenhouse receipts rounding out the balance. The Snake River American Viticultural Area earned federal designation in 2007. Climate conditions are similar to Washington's Columbia Valley, and elevations and latitudes are comparable to those of high mountain deserts in Spain's Rioja region. Idaho's wine industry has exploded in the past decade, growing from 11 wineries in 2002 to more than 50 today. The Snake River American Viticultural Area encompasses 8,000 square miles. More than 1,600 vineyard acres are producing both wine and table grapes. Common varieties include Riesling, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Chardonnay. Our long summer days and well-drained soils are key ingredients for growing grapes with exceptional fruit flavor and good structure. Idaho's wine country and our growers are gaining national attention from wine enthusiasts, retailers, restaurateurs, and the media, including Sunset Magazine, which heralded Idaho as a wine region that has arrived. Idaho ranks third in the U.S. for hop production, growing more than 3,000 acres per year. Hops are grown in two distinct Idaho regions, the majority in the warm, arid southwest and some in the cool, moist northern panhandle. Growing conditions and production methods vary between the two regions, leading to a large number of hop varieties.